Hello there, responders and RMPs. Chrissy Brooks to go through this week's hypothetical. We are week ending 02/22/2025. February is almost over, so let's jump right in here. So we are going to go through our revised October 2023 leaking package decision tree. We're going to work through the decision tree out loud and response sheets because it's good practice. It keeps our mind fresh. So this is our scenario. A box with a limited quantity label is leaking on the floor in a trailer. A small amount of the liquid is spreading on the floor from this box. When you open the box, there are 6 cans of blue aerosol spray paint. One lid is cracked and the other cans are covered in paint. You're able to test the pH from a small puddle and it reads 7.0. There are no fumes that irritate the skin, no visible fumes, smoke, or irritating odors. So we're going to answer the questions below based on this scenario. So I'm going to pause here, allow you guys to go through your decision tree here, and then we will talk about where we end up in just a second. So hopefully as you're going through the decision tree, we are going through here, ending up in this box, saying yes because we do have a diamond hazard label. It's not a prohibited, it's not on this list, it's also not on this list. So then we come over to this box, and remember this green box here, we're not going to say yes to this green box unless it's an edible liquid. That's really the only time. If you're in a very large quantity generator and you guys accumulate aerosol cans, this is going to be just a little bit different for you, but we're going to talk about the bucket sites. So, and of course, we end up here in our yellow box that a designated responder needs to clean this up. So we are going to mark that box. And then response or containment sheet, we are going to use our class 9 or limited quantity. So we've got this limited quantity diamond label, that's the white in the middle and the black on the top and the bottom. So we are going to check mark that box, and then let's go ahead and find that response sheet and find out where we end up. All right, so turning to page 6 for our limited quantity right here. So hazards, any of the following may apply. Contact may irritate or burn the eyes or skin. Fire may produce irritating or poisonous gases. May be poison if it's inhaled, swallowed, or absorbed through the skin. Heat, sparks, or flames may ignite. Vapors may travel to a source of ignition and flash back. The material may be toxic as well as flammable. So we are going to wear all of our protective equipment. It's got goggles, boots, apron, silver shield liners, and gloves. Response action steps. We're going to keep all sources of ignition away from the substance. We're going to avoid creating friction or sparks. Avoid any activity which will cause the material to become airborne. No absorbent is required for solids. We do not have a solid though. So we are going to place any absorbed material in a lined spill tray using a plastic shovel, fiber broom, and or plastic dustpan. Transport to the package to the service center for further processing. Dry ice shipments bearing the Class 9 label should not be processed through the DMP. We allow the dry ice to evaporate in a well-ventilated area. We are UPS small package, so we are going to continue to the waste disposal chart and decontamination list. That's all for solids. So now liquids, which is what we've got, we are going to check the pH. So there's our answer to that one. Check the pH by tearing off approximately 5 inches of the pH indicator tape and immerse it in the spilled liquid. Match the pH color tape to the closest color on the pH tape dispenser. If your material is above or below the 6 to 9 range, go to the corrosive liquid response sheet. If the pH is within the 6 to 9 range, go to the flammable liquid response sheet. Liquids with high viscosity can appear very thick and may not register a pH. Things like engine oil, machine oil, lubricants. So we are going to go to the flammable liquid response sheet if that is the case. So we end up on flammable liquid, but the answer to this question, I want to know which one do we utilize first. So first, we're going to that class 9 or limited quantity response sheet. So we're going to test the pH. The pH is going to tell us that it's a 7. just like the scenario said. So we end up on our flammable liquid response sheet. All right, moving on. So can you sign into the MFA page with your own information? If it's a yes, awesome. If you cannot, please get with your health and safety supervisor. Then I verify that I can sign into ETT then with that information from the MFA page. So hopefully you're getting into ETT with your own credentials. If not, please get one of these marked and get in touch with your health and safety supervisor or your transportation compliance supervisor. I know I need to access the waste disposal flowchart electronically for every leaker that I dispose of, and I know how to get to it. If you don't, right here, this great YouTube video shows you exactly how to get there. We're going to mark yes on this one, and let's go through the waste disposal flowchart for this. So we have 6 aerosol cans leaking paint out of them. So is it a spilled or leaking liquid or powder or surrendered to the DMP package? That's a yes. Spilled outside of a vehicle? No. Entered a drain? No. Has reportable quantity? No. None of those. Does the spilled product fall into one of these categories? Nicotine or other acute hazardous waste, biohazard substance, biomedical, pressurized cylinder, DEA controlled substance, pharmaceuticals or explosives? Again, all no. Are the contents verified as non via ETT? Again, no. Paint is not a non. Is the sum of the remaining liquids of the same product 3 gallons or more, giving off a noxious odor or hydrofluoric acid? Again, no. So that's going to end us up down here in this green box. We're going to follow the applicable DMP procedures listed in the Operator's Quick Reference Guide, table of contents based on your facility's generator status. So we ended up in this bottom green box right here. Not this one. This is liquid present. We're not going to do that one. We're going to do this one. So when you're processing these aerosol cans, these are going to go into buckets. You know, as many cans, I can usually get about 12 if they're smaller cans of spray paint into one bucket. So we can combine those. We would obviously dispose of all of these because they're covered in paint. We're not going to try to wipe them off and send them on or return them. They are not shelf ready, so we are going to dispose of all 6 cans out of this. Moving on to our next page, what do you do with RCRA Clean containers? Again, those RCRA Clean containers are your plastic bottle, your glass jar, your paint can that was full of material, but we dumped it all out and solidified it all. So now it's just an empty plastic bottle. So we are going to throw that away when it's empty. The exception on this is things that are acute hazardous waste, and if you have acute hazardous waste, when you go through the waste disposal flow chart, it's going to take you to that appendix and help you deal with that. So RCRA Clean containers, we're throwing them away. Then what tool do we use that tells us how to dispose of hazardous materials? I'm hoping that this hint right here is getting you. So we're going to use our waste disposal flowchart to dispose of our hazardous materials. And then I've completed my DOK. Hopefully you've got it done. It is the 17th, so maybe you haven't, but go ahead and get working on that. The DOK, again, is not something that health and safety monitors, but it is something that the operation should be keeping track of. Basically, it is your depth of knowledge. That's what DOK stands for. And it is keeping your mind fresh, just like these hypotheticals. Responding has a lot of things that go into it. So we want to make sure that your mind is fresh, that you're up to date, and that you know what's going on so that you're not putting yourself in danger. Next page. So time to get credit. Make sure that you use these drop downs here. I will, of course, drill down to what I always do, my lucky son, who I use as my guinea pig all the time. Well, where are you, Monarch? Oh, there it is, off screen. Drilling down to our last name here, first name, employee number, and then once you have these filled out, you need to scroll down here. You have to click this brown arrow. If you do not click this brown arrow, you are not getting credit because it's not submitting your information. So make sure that we're clicking this last brown arrow. I'm not going to do that because my son needs to do his own hypo. Click this last brown arrow, get to that last screen. That's how you know that you're getting credit for it. If you have any questions, please reach out. I am no longer on vacation, so I am available for any kind of assistance that you guys need. Have a great day. Have a great week. Be safe out there. It's going to be cold all over the northern plains. So please, please, please get in your layers. Be safe out there. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.